Good morning or hello everybody. My name is Lana Vukalović. I am director of Pučko otvoreno učilište Varaždin, thus People's Open University Varaždin, which is the partner, the lead partner of our project that we are presenting on this kick-off meeting today. Get to it, thus getting to active citizenship in Europe. According to our program, we are about to start now at 11 o'clock and finish by 1400. This means 2 o'clock p.m. I would like to welcome you both here on site in our cinema and also all of you online. We are very sorry that you are not able to be in our beautiful city of Varaždin, but we are still very happy that we are able to organize our kick-off also in this way. As I can see, there are about 37 participants online, and we are about 10 people, more or less, in the cinema still coming in, still joining us. I would have to excuse our deputy mayor, Mrs. Sandra Malenica. She finally was not able to attend, but she's sending her regards on behalf of the city of Varaždin, and she will be joining us in one of the next days of our kick-off. So let me start by introducing you in our project. I assume that you all know that our working language is going to be English, and that the official translation in our languages, mother tongues, will not be provided. But I hope that you will be able, especially for our participants from Croatia, you will be able to read from our slides because our presentation is going to be in Croatian. For all of you, the rest of you, don't worry, I will translate everything in English and I will try to speak more slowly so that you understand everything. If there is any misconception or misunderstandings, please write into the chat room and afterwards we will check and try to really answer your questions. So basically, we're very glad to announce the official start of our project within the program Europe for Citizens. A network of towns. We are 5 partners from Europe, and we will cooperate in the way that we are going to speak about volunteers and solidarity actions, which I think are very, very important nowadays, especially in the times of the COVID-19 pandemics. So basically, I would have to thank our colleague Patrick Galeski, who is going to take over the moderation afterwards, for actually finding out the short name, which is very effective, get to it, because I think that all of us, we need to get to work. So the project was initially supposed to begin on the 1st of March. It did. We did lots of project meetings online. Unfortunately, until today, we did not manage to actually visit our partners on site, or them us. And it is supposed to end on the 28th of February actually 2022. So basically, we still do have lots of time to implement our project on time, even if it's going to be online. It is financed within this program that we announced already, Europe for Citizens, and the worth of the project is 100,800 euro. Within the sub-measure network of towns. So basically, we believe that we are going to create a great network of our European towns and to keep in touch also in the future solidarity actions and actions of volunteers. So our People's Open University Varaždin, we are a vocational education institution and lifelong learning institution, usually implementing projects which have to do something with education of adults, but also of all other stakeholders and the age group. And our partners on the project are a touristic organization of the city of Sremska Mitrovica from Serbia. I would like to greet our partners from Sremska Mitrovica. Then Regional Development Agency Srem, also from Serbia, which are actually cooperating together with the tourist organization of Sremska Mitrovica. Then Centro Studio e Lavoro, La Cremeria, Cavriaggio from Italy. Hopefully that was fine pronounced. And their Comune di Cavriaggio from Italy. Greetings also to our Serbian and Italian partners. Then Ljudska Univerza Ptuj from Ptuj, Slovenia. Also greetings to you. They are also kind of an institution like ours, so adult educational, vocational education institution. And Institut pro regionalni razvoj from Prague, Czech Republic. Also greetings to you as our partners. And thank you all for cooperating so successfully with us. What are the aims and the topics that we want to tackle within this project? So basically, we would like to enhance the involvement of the citizens in local actions and democratic processes, so that it's not only on the level of the municipality or the county, but that also volunteers within civil society organizations, but also physical persons can get involved into all sorts of solidarity actions. The aim, maybe the main objective of the project is to create an international network of towns focused on enhancement of the citizens' involvement in local actions founded on the principles of volunteering and solidarity. So many people don't even know how to be or how to get engaged, and therefore we are going to give them the tools and the principles and the ways of how to do it within our local community. The topics, of course, volunteering, intercultural dialogue, solidarity, and how would I say, contribution to democratic processes for inclusive growth and for making an impact to enhancement of the quality of life of our fellow citizens. The activities and the results that we are all hoping to achieve. So basically we are supposed to organize 5 events, 5 international events, each of our partner countries, such as ours. Ours is the kickoff meeting, but nevertheless, all of the events are going to last for 3 days. We decided not to have 3 days in a row because it would be too exhausting via online workshops, but we are going to have 3 consequent weeks. So basically, I'm asking you to follow our activities online on our website and our Facebook and Instagram. And you also could have seen that your partner institutions sent you the possibility to apply for all 3 days. So if you still didn't have the chance, please do, because all of the 3 days have different activities. The results of the project will be achieved through workshops. Hopefully some of them are going to be locally based, presentations, conferences, and of course visits. We still hope that maybe until 2022 we will be able to attend at least one of the meetings and meet our partners live. And we are going to exchange good practices in the domain of volunteering and solidarity actions. So basically, after this first day of our kickoff meeting, we are going to organize the next workshop, which is also part of the kickoff, the second day next week. So it will be on Thursday, on the 5th of November, also from 11 to 2, but it will be locally based with a working group in our institution, smaller one, we are going to organize a social distance, and we are going to have our partners online. So basically, each country will work locally with their people, their participants, and then finally, we are going to join online and share the results of the event. I'm terribly sorry, but there is somebody who we can hear. So I'm asking all of you maybe to mute. They don't hear me. I'm sorry. Can you maybe mute everybody? Okay, I unmuted myself. Okay, thank you. So basically, we will have a workshop on the training of volunteers. It will be the coordinator of the workshop will be Nebojša Buđanovac, who is here with us as well today, and you will hear his presentation. He is director of our county Red Cross organization and has lots of experience in solidarity actions and volunteering. We will also talk with our international partners about the methods of the training, and of course we will exchange our practices. And we will have, after the workshop, the presentation online, so you will all be able to listen to this exchange of practices. And the third day of our kickoff event in Varaždin, organized by Varaždin, we will have on the Thursday, 12th of November, also from 11 to 2, also locally based if possible. If not, we all go online. And our colleague from Government Office for Civil Society Organizations, Željka Markulin, who is also here with us online. Željka, thank you for joining us. She will represent a new program, Europe for Citizens, which is going to be implemented from the next year onwards. So basically, I think this would be very interesting for you to join us online. And of course, Patrick Galeski, who is actually, I would say, a coordinator of the project and my main help and assistant, together with our Sunčica in the project, and together with Nebojša Buđanovac, he is going to talk about the challenges within the European projects, especially today in these terms and conditions, and actually how to get the other side, which is maybe more skeptic, especially now during the pandemics, about the pandemics, to how to get them involved to create new values and to create new common activities. Okay, at the end of the project, we are going to continue cooperating with our partners by signing a cooperation agreement where we are going to really try to continue with common educations and exchange of best practices. And this is the best part, actually, how you can get involved, because it is not about us, it is not about existing volunteers, it's about people who would like to get involved and who would like to start working on solidarity and voluntary actions within their local communities. If you would like to attend any of our events, and if you would like to join in any of the partner countries, you can contact directly us or one of the colleagues from your partner countries. And we are really looking forward to your suggestions. So basically, I will not go into more details. I think that we have lots of speakers today. I'm asking you to remain today with us until the end. It's not so long. If you need, you just go and grab some coffee, take something to eat. You are online, you can do that. For our participants here, we organized coffee and a little bit of chocolate. So basically, I think that we are all very well provided. So this is all from me. I will be available also online, but I would like to greet Željka Markulin. Željka, thank you for joining us. Hello,
everybody. I hope you hear me.
Yes, I will mute myself now, and thank you very much for joining us. Maybe you can present yourself and start your short presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me today. I was asked to just give you a brief presentation today. I will be very short. I will now just try to share my screen, and I hope I will manage that, and then I will continue to present myself and our work. Is it possible just to stop sharing the screen, Lana? I think it would be easier that way.
So, stop sharing, okay.
Yes, and then I think that I'll be just a moment. I'm not sure, do you see my presentation now? Yes, okay. Thank you, because I don't see you anymore, so it's easier just to get the feedback. Thank you very much. So I will now do it, and I hope it will start at the beginning. Thank you for having me. Just don't mind the date. I will change that, but I want to greet you from the Government Office for Cooperation with NGOs. My name is Eka Markulin. I'm the coordinator of the European Contact Point for Europe for Citizens program here in Zagreb, Croatia. In our office, we have been the contact point for, well, now 13 years. So we have been with the program since its beginning. Today, I will just briefly give you the overview of the program and its results in this period. And as it is mentioned before, on the 12th of November, I will briefly inform you about the changes that this program will have in the new financial perspective 2021-2027. So I just started my presentation as the promotion of EU values. This is the idea of the future program. It will change a little bit. I had this presentation even in 2019 when the negotiations for the new program started. That's why the date is wrong. So sorry for that. Just briefly to inform you about our work since 2007, we have been, as I said, the contact point since 2007, 2008. The 2008, the first project started. We had over 150 events, and these are the type of activities we had. I will not, of course, go into detail. I know that you all have contact points in your own countries, and I have to say that with most of them, I have really good cooperation in person, not only as colleagues, but we even managed to do some regional events with the ACP of Serbia and Slovenia. But I just wanted you to know that this is our type of work. We try to do easier way to the projects, to the financing of your ideas. So we really do all this types of work, and as personally, I prefer these individual consultations where we can share our experience and our knowledge and help you to construct or design or figure out or create your projects. This is just an overview that we try to go all over Croatia to share our knowledge and to try to motivate people to apply for this program. It's a smaller program, it's not so well known, but still we believe that it's very important, and I'm really glad that today I'm again I was asked to participate with our very dear colleagues from Varaždin and to share our new information with you. I hope that you will, of course, have very successful project and that you will share your knowledge and experiences. It's a really very hectic time, and I hope that this project and your activities that went online will be successfully implemented. So we were just going all around Croatia and sharing everything before, and I have to say that the results were really, really good. As you can see in this chart, now we are closing the program. Our idea is now to show how many of our participants and applications were successful, how many applications were for this program in Croatia. Of course, these are numbers for Croatia. Maybe you can also add your presentations from your contact points when you will have your events hosted maybe in another country. But still, I just wanted to briefly inform you that we were really successful in the number of applications and awarded projects. Of course, you all know this is a program that is divided geographically, so that means that the number of projects per country, per number of people living in the country are divided. So Croatia gets around 10 to 12 projects per year. Of course, 2020 is not over. These are just the numbers for the first applications, or the first calls for proposals that were in February and March, and we are expecting for these figures, of course, to be much higher. As for the beneficiaries and partners, as you can see, we have really good numbers in this 2014-2020. A lot of applications. Partners that were Croatian partners that were in the projects of other countries were getting really higher during the years, and I hope and I expect that this year will be the maximum, that will be even higher than the 2018 and 2019. And I hope, of course, that we will get to the number of 10 to 12 beneficiaries in this year also. I have to congratulate, of course, your lead partner, Pučko otvoreno učilište Varaždin, because they were successful many times. And this was, I think, even in 2018, 2019. And I hope that you will keep applying for this program, even when it changes in 2021, because the topics will mostly be the same. And that you will be successful. We are at your disposal. If we stay the contact point, we are at your disposal for helping you in any way. So, and just briefly, of course, how was the climate in Croatia regarding the measures that were applied for? So measures that our beneficiaries chose to apply. So, of course, town twinning was the 73 projects, or 56% of the projects were town twinning. And then we have civil society projects, 13, then the network of towns, 20, and then European remembrance, as I can see. Sorry, of course, I made a mistake, sorry. Remembrance are 13, so 10% of European remembrance, and 24 to 90% of civil society projects. I will not go, of course, into detail, but this is very interesting for all of us because we now see the climate. So still a lot of beneficiaries or applicants choose the most simplest measure to implement, and this is, of course, fine. We also have this cultural, I would say, like mentality. So these type of projects are very popular, not only in Croatia, but also in Hungary and Italy. So we really do want to implement this measure, so the town twinning. But of course, civil society and the remembrance are still very, very high. And of course, network of towns, this is a measure that is more complex. So it's normal for some beneficiaries who start as a town twinning with the town twinning projects to just go a little bit higher, level higher, and then choose this measure for the next project. For the numbers and the figures of the funds that were that Croatian beneficiaries got during the years, so you can see we had some little bit of, well, I have to say more or less we are really satisfied with the overall of the funds that we received, so with the Croatian applicants that they got, but still we had some drops in 2018, but then in 2019 it was really high, and in 2016 also. So as you can see, in 2020 we are still we reached the numbers of 2018, and I hope that the next few projects that will be funded till the end of the year will go over 500,000 euro. We are really glad because we think that we were really successful, and the numbers for Croatia, this is really high. So I hope that around these 10 projects that I was talking about, that this is really something we can be proud of. I hope that, of course, the new and the old applicants will still see this project, this program as a relevant one, and that they will apply again in the new financial. I just wanted to end, of course, with the text that is more or less in the your program documents, just to remind you of what was this program all about and why was it created. And I know that most of you, of course, as you are lead applicants or lead partners and partners within the program, that you are aware of that, but maybe your participants do not know. And this program is all about the citizens of European Union. They want to share, they want to know. So the Commission had the idea that they have to be aware that the citizens are the base of the European Union, and they want to hear their voices. Of course, your projects are a way of dealing with that and to influence and to activate citizens to engage and to participate and to actively contribute to the development of the European Union. So I will of course finish with this, and I will leave it to this because in my next presentation I will give you the as I said, new information about the new program, how will the Euro for Citizens develop, or how it will be visible in the new financial perspective. Thank you for your attention. These are our, of course, our contacts. I hope that it was interesting for you, and that I will see you again at the 12th of November. At the end, I was also asked just to cover a little bit more about the COVID situation, also not only in our office, but how the civil society is dealing with this pandemic. And I have to say, this is really a complex, of course, a complex problem. We also had the earthquake in Zagreb that also left a lot of problems for the civil society in these two counties, in Grad Zagreb County and in the Zagrebačka and Krapinsko-Zagorska County. So we have a lot of civil society organizations not able to work from their, of course, from their headquarters, as I can say. But still, of course, due to the pandemic, a lot of people are misplaced. There are a lot of problems that the civil society is now struggling with. But we, as not only as a contact point, of course, of Europe for citizens, but also as a main office for cooperation with the complete sector of the non-governmental organizations or civil society organizations. We tried to implement as quickly as possible the European Social Fund projects that we are dealing with within our jurisdiction. And we also had a really broad implementation of questions. We were asking the civil society organizations to give us their feedback on what do they need and what problems do they have. So we could be of course, like a channel between the government and the civil society in dealing with these questions. Of course, it is all sometimes really hard to just engage quickly, but we managed to give some help in this spring summer period, and now we are of course preparing some similar calls for proposals also for civil society to help them get through the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, this is mostly connected with the financing of the civil society and their activities. Of course, I'm here to answer your questions if you have any. I will now stop sharing my screen, and I will just, of course, greet you once more, and thank you for having me today. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you, and I hope that you will have really successful days in this kickoff meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Željka. I hope that you saw the overview on what actually the program Europe for Citizens is. So we would strongly recommend for all of you to try to apply for this program. It's quite easy, but it's for this program you can really implement great activities and meet great people. Thank you, Željka, very much. I hope that you will stick with us until the end. If not, we will still see you on the third day. Wish us luck, because this is kind of a pilot project.
Yeah, no.
Kind of a pilot.
Yes.
But okay, thank you very much. You have some closing word?
Yes, well, I just wanted to say, yeah, of course, I said to your colleagues, to Patrick, that I will excuse myself for today, but my colleague that is dealing very closely with volunteering activities she will be probably online, and she'll hear your presentations and your day's work. So we are listening and seeing you for the whole day. And I will join you on the 12th, as I said. Thank you very much for your attention. And good luck, of course.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay.
I'm announcing now Mr. Nebojša Buđanovac. As I said, he's the director of the county of Varaždin County Red Cross organization, and we will not be too long. I will not be too long, so please, Nebojša, take over. No, actually, maybe just to put it like.
Okay.
No. Wait. Okay. Yes.
So, hello to everyone. I will try to be here so you can see me. I will talk about the activities of volunteers of the Red Cross Society of Varaždin County during the spring lockdown 2020. Because we had really a lot of activities, and most of those activities developed in the spontaneous manner. So I think it is a good thing to talk about such things, because we are heading into another autumn and winter and maybe spring, which will be characterized with such a situation that we will probably go to the next lockdown. So here is our team for crisis intervention in this picture, and the things that we did this spring were, just a moment. So for us, it started on March 14, 2020. When we got practically mobilized to share food and water to the persons who were returning from the other European countries. And we did it in one day, 4 employees and 2 volunteers, 2 employees. We did it in some 50 volunteer hours. We didn't have enough masks then, so it was really, you know, just a start of our activities. But we learned quick, and just a few days later, we started with organization of the telephone lines for psychosocial help from 14th March to 16th of May. We had a line which was available 24 hours, and we had over 700 volunteer hours during those times. We also had 300 phone calls in this period. 10 of our volunteers were included. All of them were members of the team for crisis interventions. So those were the people who are basically well trained in this kind of conversation, this kind of situation. And we had a very good feedback from our users. So those were mostly people who needed some kind of help with adjustment with these new situations of lockdown. Some of them were also infected with COVID. Some of them were in self-isolation. But our volunteers did a very good job and helped a lot of those people to cope with their new environment. So this was the first organized activity that we had. And this activity is also available now because of the pending lockdown. We also had a network of volunteers who helped elderly people to get food, medicines, and other supplies. It also lasted 2 months, every day from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening. Some 800 volunteer hours were implemented here, and over 600 how to say that, sorties to get the supplies. We had some 30 volunteers included in this. You see, through city of Varaždin and through other neighbor towns. After that, we also had activity of preparation of the student dormitory for the placement of the people who were sick of COVID. And during 3 days, it was set for 400 persons, and we have 150 volunteer hours in this. It will be probably actual again because of this situation, because now we had much more people infected with COVID than we had in the spring. So it's very probable that we'll have some situation like that again. Beside that, we also had an action to give Easter packages to the people who were pensioners who were retired. 2 days, we gave away some 2,000 packages, and some 300 volunteer hours were employed in this. It was a big thing, really big thing, and many people were included into this. So our volunteers did a great job in this area too. But the most important activity that we had during the spring was a project of Varaždin County, free delivery of hot meals to the persons with heavy social or health situation. It lasted for a month, from April 22nd to May 22nd. And during this period, our society used the volunteers in gerontodomaćice, so-called. It's people who take care about elderly people, to get hot meals 3 times a week for 620 users in our county. Over 8,600 meals were delivered. And we had 800 volunteer hours done during this time. It was really big action because it included not only volunteers of the Red Cross, but also the volunteers of fire department and so on. And there were many, many other people included in this. In fact, we used the existing elements of system to provide help to those who needed it most. It was a very good initiative of Varaždin County, and we were a part of this, so to say. Just a moment. Okay. So our Red Cross Society was awarded special recognition for all those activities during the spring of 2020. And all those people who participated were very, very happy because of this. They said they felt useful and did something good for their neighbors. Because we were able to include not only our existing volunteers, but also some 20 to 30 new people who volunteered in spontaneous manner. All in all, we had some 50 people included in those actions. What is most important, the organization was very quick and very efficient because we had 3 people who were coordinators for every of this activity. I need to say also that when it was finished in the May of 2020, all of them said that they will be at disposal in the autumn or winter when all those things may be needed again. So this is our experience. This is something that we are proud of. Here in our public in Varaždin, there are several people who were included in this. And I hope that the next situation that we will have, and we will have it now, we will react in the same manner, with the same efficiency and the same competence that we had in the spring. So this is for now. If you have any questions, just ask. We will talk about this in our workshop also, and we'll have opportunity to talk longer about this. Okay, see you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nebojša. I hope that you found this presentation very interesting. I have to say that we in the city of Varaždin, in our county of Varaždin, are very proud to have such an organization that functions very well. Excellent. Thank you for all your work and all your contributions. I'm going to invite everybody else. So I'm going to invite our partners from Sremska Mitrovica, Serbia, to present how the office is reaching, the youth office of the city of Sremska Mitrovica, how it is reaching out to elderly citizens in the community. It is going to be presented by Biljana Matic. Biljana, hello. And Čedomir Nedeljković and Teodora Prokić. Is that right? Can you unmute yourself, please?
Hello,
Hello.
just a second.
Please, I want to, okay. We have two microphones in, you know. At first, I want to send you greetings. Did you hear me? You can hear me. You hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Greetings from Sremska Mitrovica. Actually, we are in City Hall, and I'm very grateful to city authorities to support us, European programs, especially this one. Here in City Hall are representatives of tourist organization, two of us, and of course, Region Developing Agency, Regionalna razvojna agencija Srem. Bojana is with us, and please, Bojana, say hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Bojana.
Say something more?
No.
No, okay, that's all. Here is Maya name on my space, but I'm not Maya. My name is Svetlana, and friends call me Cica. Once again, we changed the names because we use the computers from City Halls. Sorry. Finally, my pleasure is to introduce to Biljana. Biljana is head of youth office, and young people with her is Čeda and Teodora. And I'm very proud of that young people because they did a heroic job during the worst days of crisis of COVID. And now, please, Čedo, present your work and enjoy.
Can I ask you just something? Should I stop the share and we enable you to share your screen? Do you have a presentation?
Yes, Čedo, share.
Okay, and please, Čedo, just unmute. Yes, Čedo, do you have a presentation?
Yes, of course, just a second.
I will stop sharing and I will ask Sunčica to enable you to, exactly, great. Okay, thank you.
Second. Okay. Well, could you please tell us if you hear, is my microphone working well? Hello,
Yes, we hear you.
just a second.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, we hear you. Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
Well, hello, dear friends. My name is Čeda, and today with my colleague Teodora, we will tell you something more about our volunteering during the lockdown between the 16th of March and 7th of May. Well, on 15th of March, we got a call from our youth office coordinator, and in that moment, 25 of volunteers ages from 16 to 25 have signed up to be a part of a call center in our city. Well, volunteers under 18 years old had to get confirmation of parental consent. And this is our first photo. I mean, this is the first day. We were lucky that our parents supported us to volunteer in such harsh time. Our call center was placed in the oldest building in our city because that is the location of our youth office and tourist organization too. Well, in the beginning, volunteers found it get hard to use a computer, to work in on a computer and to answer stranger people on a phone. But quite soon, everyone got used to it. Well, the call center had 3 phone lines that citizens could call 24/7 and get any kind of information and newest updates in our city.
After some time, the call center gathered around 50 more volunteers that carried food and other needed products to people over 65 years old that were under complete lockdown. Later on, the number of volunteers on the field grew to 180. We realized that we needed a program that we would use to put the information about people that called, and we decided that Excel was the perfect program for that. We formed Excel tables, programmed the columns, and began putting the information in the tables. For the first 2 weeks, we were making daily upgrades in the tables depending on our needs. Soon we realized that the field volunteers must have their own database where we could track all the locations that they visited while they were doing field work. So if one of them got infected, we could see where he has been, but luckily no one got infected. Program columns also made it possible to organize the city into settlements and make it easier for field volunteers to find the people in need.
Well, call center volunteers were leading social media accounts. This is Instagram, Facebook, and Viber. And we informed our citizens about the newest updates in our city. And besides being a volunteer, I'm a photographer too. And I had the chance to go out during the curfew and take some photos with the supervision, of course. And while I was walking through the city, it was a little bit, to be honest, spooky to see a usually packed streets. Now they were empty, and there are some photos of many of them that I took this day. Okay. Okay. And when I entered at the park, it was the first time I've felt the freshness of the air. And I don't think that the air was ever fresh at that time because there was no pollution. In the beginning, our volunteers were receiving food from kindergarten cooks, but later on, many restaurants were willing to send us food.
We are very grateful to these people because they were willing to make very delicious food and deliver it to us during the pandemic. We also celebrated both Easters, Catholic and Orthodox together. We believe that there's no differences between us. We just make one big volunteer family. On our museum in the city center, we were projecting flags of the countries that we helped and that helped us. Here are some examples. There is an Italian flag, Norway, and Chinese flag. There's also some support flags for the cities in our countries. Here we have Valjevo and Kikinda. After 53 days of working in the call center and having 3,500 calls and 1,600 field works and about 1,300 volunteer hours, after ending the lockdown, volunteers have signed off from the call center with some new experiences. Our city officials rewarded all the volunteers with diplomas as a way to show gratitude for being there for the city in those harsh times. Here we can see some photos from that day. As I mentioned, we had many calls during our time in the call centers. So here are some anecdotes from them. One man called to ask if we could come and open the washing machine doors because they were stuck. An older man asked us to urgently go to the store and buy him hot dogs while they were on sale. A granny called and asked to go to the countryside and take care of her sheep. Those are some of many calls that we had. And now we will show you a montage that was being projected while the volunteers were receiving their diplomas. All the photos were taken during our time in the call center.
Well, just a second, we have some technical issues, so we're going step by step.
And now we'll mention the youth office. That's the place where everything occurred. This is a government organization that's accepting young people from 13 to 30 years old who want to be a part of events and volunteer work. Now we're inviting you to check out our little movie about the youth office. Enjoy.
Projekt Kancelarije za mlade, karijerni infocenter koji postoji 7 godina, podnao sam svoje lično interesovanje, naučio mnoge veštine i završio komunikaciju. Kancelarija za mlade pruža mnogi korisne stvari. Kroz Kancelariju za mlade stičemo nova poznanstva i širimo mrežu kontakata koji nam takođe znače u daljem karijernom putu.
Ja sam volonter Kancelarije za mlade od 2018. godine. Kroz mnoga volontiranja sam upoznala i stekla dosta prijatelja i prošla kroz mnoga nova iskustva. Pomoću volonterske knjižice dobila mogućnost beležiti ali i regije kod određenih kulturi sporta. Ja, na primjer, često posećujem bazen. Drago mi je što zahvaljujući Kancelariji za mlade
Za kancelariju prvi put sam saznala preko društvenih mreža. Zatim sam se volonterima pridružila i uživo. Zanimljivo je to što smo kao volonteri posjetili mnoga mesta, upoznali naš grad, našu državu, pa čak stigli i do inostranstva radeći na zanimljivim projektima. Najlepše druženje i zabavu smo stekli baš na tim putovanjima, odnosno seminarima, projektima i tribinama.
Ako želite da menjate svijet, morate prvo krenuti od sebe. Ne treba drugima zriti slovo i predavanje, vi se ih slušite kako kroz delo.
Well, with confidence, we can say that we are ready if another lockdown happens. And thank you for your attention. Now, something our coordinator will tell you something more about.
Hello, guys. It's Bojana from Regional Development Agency, SREM. I will translate Bilja's words, but before that, I have to tell you there were tears here in our city hall. Some people got emotional, Bilja too. Hopefully, she'll manage to say you a sentence or two. Bilja, izvoli.
Hvala, izvinjavam se na samom početku što smo imali malih tehničkih grešaka zato što smo svi zajedno.
Thank you, and I apologize in the first place for technical difficulties because we are in here all together. Bilo mi je jako emotivno gledati sve ovo ponovo. It was very emotional for me to look at those videos again. Zato što sam pre svega jako ponosna na ove mlade ljude. Because first of all, I'm very proud of those young people. Ono što mogu da vam kažem, what I can tell you, jeste ukoliko bi ponovo morao call center da se otvori, is that if again the call center should work and be opened, ovi mladi ljudi, these young people bi u narednih sat vremena bili u kancelariji. Would be in the office in a time of 1 hour. Zato što oni su ovo shvatili kao posao. Because these young people take this as their job. Svesni su situacije u kojoj se nalazimo. They are pretty aware of the situation in which we are currently in. I tu su da pomognu koliko je moguće kako bismo ovo svi zajedno prevazišli i pobedili. And they are here to help as much as possible in order to overcome this situation most successfully. Hvala svima na pažnji, budite zdravo i čuvajte se i vidimo se nekom lepšom priliku. Thank you all for your attention. Stay healthy and safe, and see you again, hopefully in better conditions, face to face. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you too. I have to say that I got a little bit emotional myself as well after these words. Maybe after the project we will be all more emotional, and now I think that we can see that these kind of projects are really necessary, and that we all should connect more. So basically, thank you very much to our partners from Serbia. I would like to invite now our colleagues from Italy, Edi Galeotti, Giovanni Mazzoli, and Martina Zecchetti. I hope that I pronounced this fine.
Yes, and very good.
Grazie, Edi. So I would like to, are you okay? How is the situation in Italy?
Well, we are okay, even if numbers are rising very quickly. And so since in the last week, several measures have been, of course, undertaken. And among them, we also cannot hold conferences, meetings in person. That's why I'm here in my office, and both Giovanni and Martina are connected via their personal connection in the office or at home, because even persons working in public administration have been, well, not forced, but they have to work in a remote, by remote as much as they can. So yes, well, we will find, but it will be a long winter, so we will see.
I'm sure. Well, we still don't have any lockdown or something like that, but we don't know what will happen because the numbers as well here in Croatia are on the rise. Yeah. But okay, let's stay positive still.
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
You are going to present about how volunteers are making a difference and how cultural activities are being adjusted in Cavriaggio, Italy. So this is a special interesting point and topic today, because today we are in our city cinema, and we have to say that after this pandemics, actually, we also encountered the fall in the number of our visitors in the cinema, even though we actually enabled social distance for 90 people. But still, it's quite difficult and challenging to organize cultural events. So let's hear how you are doing it. So,
yes. By the way, since Sunday, theaters and cinemas have been closed here in Italy, and there's quite of a disagreement about this, because in the last months they were not the places where contagions took place or rise. But that's one point of the decisions which have been made, so we will see. Nevertheless, yes, I'm asking for Giovanni and then Martina to, well, say something. I guess Giovanni will maybe make a more general introduction in the first part and also introduce himself. So I'll see if he's available. Giovanni?
Please unmute yourself and, okay, do you have any presentation, Giovanni?
Yeah, I have some slides. Can I?
Okay, then I will enable you to share the screen.
Okay. Okay. Here.
It works, Giovanni.
Okay. Okay. It works. Do you see everything? Okay.
Yes, yes, we do.
So good morning to everyone. My name is Giovanni Mazzoli. I work in the municipality of Cavriago, and I deal with. Do you listen to me? Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Giovanni, we do hear you.
Yes, you hear me. Okay. So I'm Giovanni Mazzoli. I work in the municipality of Cavriago, and I deal with participation and communication for the municipality. Today I will explain you how was the civic engagement and volunteering during lockdown in Cavriago. And I start from a data. One of the thing among the many things that was surprising for us during March and April of 2020, the thing positively was surprising for us was the fact that okay,
something happened.
My connection is unstable. I try to disable my video. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe it's better. Do you hear me?
We hear you. It's just that we encounter some problems with the sound, but actually, yes. Can you talk?
Okay. Where I have to.
Hello, Giovanni.
Okay. Where I have to restart.
No, we heard you about
from this slide. Do you see it?
Yes, yes. You can go on from this slide. Don't worry.
Yes, please.
We heard you till the last words, Giovanni.
Okay, I can start from this slide.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, but the connection at my home is not so it's not so good. I was saying that one of the things that was most positively surprising for us was that there were many new volunteers during lockdown. We did a research about the socioeconomic impact that lockdown had on our community. And we also analyzed the volunteering and civic engagement. And we saw that this is a graph about all the people that volunteered during lockdown. And we can see that 36%, that is not a low percentage, had never been volunteer before lockdown. Okay, so we had many volunteers that begin volunteering during lockdown, and it's really interesting and really important. Then I did a map of the different actors that compose the world of civic engagement and volunteer during lockdown. Then we can see that there are some institutionalized actors and associations like health volunteer group, sports association that give a hand, even if they usually don't have their core business, if we can say, take care of poor people or of people that have problems. And then I want to pay attention also to other two new actors that born in the very moment of lockdown, that are the Municipal Volunteer Group and Agoner, that is a web TV. I start from the association because we had, as I said, charities, health association and sport associations that was engaged in food delivery for people that was locked at home in quarantine. They give health care. They tackle new poverty that the economic crisis that arise during lockdown created. They also give a telephone care, we can call it, that is a social care for elder people. We had an association that have many old people associated, and they call them daily to take care and to give them, don't break the social link. Then we had this municipal volunteer group that I told you. It's composed by 50 volunteers, and he had the aim to gather the new volunteers, to gather people that declared to be available to be volunteer, but they hadn't a home, they hadn't an association where they already volunteered. So we constitute a group to give an insurance group, and they was engaged mainly in deliver masks, deliver flyers about the new rules and news that the municipality had to do to citizenship. They was engaged in public space control, and so a lot of tasks that otherwise we cannot do. And the interesting thing is that this municipal volunteer group, even if many people go out after lockdown, had less time to dedicate to this kind of volunteering, but it's still alive, and now it's an institutionalized actor with the municipality have to create a dialogue. Finally, another interesting actor that was born during lockdown is Agoner. Agoner is a community web TV that was created by municipality in order to create a link between municipality and citizenship during a moment where we cannot see physically. And so it became, however, it became also a place where citizens could create and project the broadcast. It's a web TV, so there are several programs several broadcasts that you can see on Facebook actually, and it's already available. And the arguments that were discussed are different and are many. So you can see from statistics question to also the mass was recorded on Cavagon. So you can see the community on the TV and the community also on the social, because it was a Facebook page. Finally, I present also Carrego Come Va, that is a name that translated means Carrego WhatsApp. It's a research about the socioeconomic impact I told you before of lockdown on Carrego community, and it's an interesting example of civic engagement, because we had many answers to the survey that we did, 1,245 answers, and in a town of 10,000 inhabitants answers. And it was a research that find out how economy has a lower level of resilience than a social fabric. And I think that this volunteering that has increased during lockdown is an example, is the main example of this. Because yeah, even if lockdown generate a economical crisis, it didn't generate a social crisis, even if we were locked in our home, we were stuck in our home. Otherwise, it creates a new social attention, new civic engagement in other way. And I want to pay attention also to civic engagement beyond volunteering, because there were also a civic engagement that people made at home. For example, I don't know, maybe also in your countries it happened, but in Italy, many people attack out of their home this paper with a rainbow drawn on, and the writing "andrà tutto bene," that means everything will be fine, everything will be right. And so I want also to pay attention to this civic engagement beyond volunteering. And I thank you for the thanks for your attention, and I leave the word to Martina.
Hi everyone. Do you hear me well? Good. I'm Martina Zecchetti. I'm the Councillor for Culture of the municipality of Cavriago, which is in Emilia-Romagna region in Italy. And Giovanni, my colleague, already said a lot of things and very interesting things, I think. I will go a little bit in my sector, let's say in the cultural field, and I will focus a little bit on the activities that we decided to start and to deliver to our citizens, both with volunteers and with workers. I also have a very short presentation that I share.
Martina, maybe they have to give you the
Sunčica, can you
ability
give
to share.
permission to share?
Okay.
Please try now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Just one moment. Okay. No. It seems I have some settings that I had to modify, but since I cannot go out from Zoom, I cannot modify it. So no problem. I will just speak a little bit. So as Giovanni said already, we at the beginning of the pandemic, we decided to answer two main questions. The first was why entrust activities to volunteers? So why a municipality decide to work with volunteers, to entrust their activities, to give them also some responsibilities during a very difficult period. And the second was which activities to entrust to them. The first question, it was, I think, very easy to answer because we have a very strong citizenship feeling. We every day work with volunteers for many activities that the municipality cannot sustain, that cannot deliver itself. So we already had a group of people that we were able to call, and we knew that they would have answered our request. But surprisingly, as Giovanni said, we also had many new volunteers that decided to give their time. I don't know if you know it, but during our lockdown, all the companies, the factories were closed, apart from a small numbers. All the commercial activities were closed, restaurants, so students didn't go to school, so everyone was at home, and maybe with well, of course, with more time than they have during the year. So we had this surprisingly growth of our volunteers that we already had, but that saw this new engagement. And which activities? Giovanni already gave a first idea of the activities that we deliver to our citizens. So I will mainly focus on the cultural activities, which is, as I said, my sector. Because the web television Cabriago on Air is something really new for our municipality, and an idea that we saw had a good effect on the population. A good effect because we from April 1st until, let's say, mid-June, we decided to not to cancel, but to move all the events and conferences on the web, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And but not only, we also decided to simply ask friends and people that we knew, professionals, every kind of people that was interested in giving some time to this project. to, as I said, give their time and start a new small project on that channel. We did conferences, we did book presentations with authors or without authors. We did readings for children. We celebrated the birthday of our municipality. We celebrated other days important for our nation and for our town too. So we really gave a lot of, let's say, a lot of new options to the citizens. And what we found when we finally had the opportunity to go out from our home and to meet people again was that even elder people, when they met us in the street, they said, "Oh, you are the one that was presenting on the web TV during the lockdown. Thank you." So we really had the feeling that that the project was successful. However, we also had other activities, other projects for the lockdown and immediately after lockdown period. First of all, the library decided to do books, DVDs, video games delivery at home. So our workers delivered the books and everything the people asked them directly to their home. We had school in the library. So at the beginning of September, when school started again, we hosted some children, some classrooms in our library, and they had the opportunity to do their classes there, because let's say the space in the school was not enough due to the new requirements of distance and mainly distance between every person. So we gave them the opportunity to come to the library and to do school in the library. And another main project that we had to rethink about during the pandemic is our summer events. Each summer we usually we had big events in the main square of the town with of course with a lot of public, which this year was not possible to have. So we decided to think about different possibilities to give the opportunity to listen to concerts or to go to the theater without going to the theater. And we developed a project which we called Scintille d'estate, which is mainly music and theater from a tractor. So we decided to use a tractor which could move from squares, from also public gardens. So this tractor during the evening moved a lot, so we could not create big groups of people, and it stopped 20 minutes in each different location. The actors or musicians that did did their performance, and then they moved. So they went to another location and deliver their performance. In this let's say in this way, we arrived close to each home. So we did not ask people to go out, to go to the main square where there are other 200 people, let's say, but we only asked them, go out from your, go out on your balcony or on your private garden, and you can listen to this concert or look at the performance from your safe place, and which is very hard to do, but which is also very important for people to know they can do cultural activities, even being safe and not going to places with many people. I'm sorry, I had pictures to show, but unfortunately, it will be for the next time.
Don't worry, Martina. Thank you very much. Maybe you can send us a presentation if possible.
Yes.
And we can post it on our project sites so that actually everybody can see it. And somebody asked us also in the chat if they can have the presentations. I think that we do have the permission from the presenters to publish. Nebojša, is it possible? Okay. My presentation will be online. So basically, yes, you will all get the presentations. Eddie, is this all from Italy?
Yes, I know we're a bit late with the timeline, but I think this is all. So I would like to thank Martina and Giovanni, and this is our contribution to today's event.
Thank you very much to Italy. We are actually just now 11 minutes late, but I think it's great. Thank you very much. I didn't show you the masks that we did for the dissemination of this project. So one of our colleagues did a great work. And also I just wanted to ask everybody that didn't get to this Zoom via online application, Google Disk, I would really like all of you to sign in, because it's very, very important that we have it for the project. Okay, and now I would like to say hello to Mr. Yuri Sharman.
Hello.
From Ptuj, Slovenia. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm quite okay. How are you?
Me too, thank you.
Okay, Petja, hi. Petja is from Ljudska Univerza Ptuj. Thank you very much for everything, for organizing this. Let's not lose time. So, Mr. Sharman, you are coordinator for youth programs in Ptuj.
Yep.
Center of Interest Activities Ptuj. And you are going to talk about youth volunteering in Slovenia during the pandemic. Do you have a presentation?
Yes, I presented to Petja, but do you have it already or not?
We did receive it, but I'm not sure if we put it. Sunčica, do we have presentation here?
Yes, I did post it, but I thought maybe, Yuri, if you have it on your computer, maybe you can just share the screen.
I can try it.
We have it on the computer. Let me just find it. I'm sorry.
I can try to share it, but you have to give me a permission.
It's fine, and then I will change the slides. Is it okay with you?
Okay.
Well, let's try this also.
Yes, okay. I will share the screen, and you just tell me. Is it so?
Yeah, it is.
And you just say next slide, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for the invitation, especially Petja and all the guys you are involving in this project. I would like to talk about one project we exercised during this pandemic crisis. And as you said, I'm coming from the local youth center. with quite a lot of tradition already. We are working in the youth work since 1994, and also voluntary work is one of the fields where we are working, especially on promotion and through the activities, and also through education. So the next slide, please. This is the project named Day for the Change. This year it was 11th. So it's a national project. And it's in Slovenia, and it's a nice dances. Remember, you have it on the slide. And the point of the project is this small green yellow fish in the middle, if you can see it. It means that it's swimming against the flow. So it means that we all should try to swim against the main flow and try to do something to change the current situation. And we can do it together and do something for people in the local community and for the people in our local community. So this is time for the change, and we are trying to change something through voluntary work in our local community. Next slide, please. So this is a national project initiated and coordinated by the NGO, Slovenian Philanthropy. It's a national networking organization in the field of voluntary work. And last few years, project refers to Sustainable Development Goals adopted in 2015 through United Nations. And next slide. And in this year, we try to connect partners as high school, Gymnasia Ptuj, and their students, and then public service company who helped us. And we have been taking role as a coordinating partner in this project. Next slide. So back one, I think it's aims of the project. So the aims of the project are promotion of voluntary work among people and local community, and help maintain part of children playground, repainting of metal elements, and also to contribute to more beautiful local environment and strengthening the value of volunteering as important form of active citizenship. Because of the demanded requirements at that time, we invited only 10 people in this project. Usually we inviting quite a more, but because of the situation, we invite people together, 8 students from high school, and I was one, and another one was a guy from the public company. Next slide. So the location of the project was the children's playground in so-called Ljudski vrt. It's actually a green area of Ptuj, very nice area, and there is a playground, and we try to repaint some metal elements in this playground. We have to fulfill all these safety requirements in that time. It was in September, as you can see. And these 8 students have repainted these metal elements. You can go with the slides. There are some photographs more. So you can see these students came also from the same social bubble, so they can be together. They're coming from the same class. The masks were not necessary to wear in that time when we are carrying out this project. So this was the small project, but I think for the students was a very good experience and something for their personal growing, very important. So I will end with the quote of my quote of the day, and it's very obvious. You can't get very far until you start doing something for somebody else. I hope the students did it in that way, and we enable it. Thank you. I was very short, so I will save your time.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jure.
Thank you
also
for inviting us.
Petja, would you like to add something?
Well, I would just like to say thank you to Jure, of course, for the first, and then to you, Lana, for the organization and everything else. I think this is going just well. Currently, because in Slovenia we are already in partial lockdown, so we will see how this situation develops. And I believe next time, Yuri, when you go painting this children playground, I will join you, although I have to wear a mask. It's not a problem. I'm getting used to it.
I will invite you for sure.
And I'm also sorry, because we also prepared some masks with logos of the project, but I cannot show it to you because I have it in my workplace, which is a little bit further away. So I will save that for the time. So now I'm gaining a little bit of minutes.
Don't worry. I just hope that we will be able, you know, to see each other live. I mean, like really face to face, because I just have to say that we have been doing projects with Ljudska univerza Ptuj for some years now. There have been some quite successful, and I have to say that 2 years in a row we had 200 people from Ptuj in Varaždin, which means actually 400 people from Ptuj saw Varaždin and visited Varaždin already, and they were our guests here in the cinema and in the city. And I hope that the new project that we envisage to do will also be able to do it that way. So keep safe and just stay on the Zoom. We still have one last presentation, last but not least. Thank you, Slovenia. I feel like an Eurovision contest. Slovenia 10 points or 12. What was it? I don't know. Yes, thank you very much. Martin, I would like to welcome our colleagues from the Czech Republic, from Institut pro regionalni razvoj. I would say it was Institute for Regional Development. And Martin is the representative of our partner organization. Hi, Martin. Are you okay?
Hi, Lana. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you quite well. Yes, I can hear you. And just a second, let me share it like this. Okay. Wait. So basically, Martin is going to talk about how volunteers are reaching out to disadvantaged citizens in the Czech Republic. Martin, do you have a presentation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I will stop sharing and I will ask Sunčica to enable you to share. Okay, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, you may be already a bit tired, but I tried to make my presentation short and catchy somehow. So this is it. Can you see my presentation? Yes? Okay. Well, I would like to tell you a bit about the volunteering in times of pandemic in the Czech Republic. And yeah, we are actually talking about the springtime, which meant kind of training for us, because as you can see in the following slide, the Czech civil society has been very active But now what we are facing, it's absolutely uncomparable, because we from 10 to 15,000 positive cases every day since 2 weeks maybe. So whatever attitude or approach one might have to this situation, these numbers are really high. So this is a challenge for the civil society as well, which performed very, very well back in spring. And I believe we can really rely on it. This part of society and on these people and activities that are ready to carry on. So in short, agenda of my presentation. As the first thing, I will present the assistance to elderly people and socially vulnerable groups by the NGOs. Then we'll have a look in the production and distribution of protective equipment assured by the NGOs. And finally, I will tell something about information campaigns, which is also an important issue. So there is an initiative really involving thousands or maybe tens of thousands of people, organized mainly by the Scout organization together with Elpida. The Scouts are delivering groceries or other household necessities to elderly people who are immobile or just have to stay home and so on. They're also helping them with arranging various administrative matters that they would need to arrange or deal with, because unfortunately we are definitely not in an e-government era or digitalized administration era. So many of even important matters have to be solved in person, which is a problem in this situation for elderly people. And then thanks to Elpida, there is a free of charge hotline connecting the Scouts, which can use this huge basis of more than 80,000 members who can participate in this activity and who can work at this hotline, which is aimed to help elderly people with any issue they need. But I have to say that there are even more initiatives working with the hotlines, but this is one where the Scouts are involved in. There is also a map available on the website where you can find the volunteers near to you or the local projects in which they are engaged. Next, a completely new initiative called Sousedská pomoc, or neighborhood assistance, was launched back in March. It's a nationwide online platform which links the people in need. They have 6,000 volunteers already, and they are basically facilitating the services such as shopping, purchase of deliverable, of the pharmaceuticals, or sewing protective masks for people in need and others. So this is a nationwide initiative, kind of similar to the one of the Scouts, but it's really on a voluntary basis and it doesn't have like a previous history. Then a local one here in Prague, it's called Praha drží spolu, Prague Sticks Together. Again, it's a hotline launched by the local authorities, but using the availability of volunteers, of course. So it's a handful of NGOs that can reach out to elderly and the socially excluded people. And the hotline itself provides consultations, practical information related to the coronavirus, psychological support, practical assistance with social services and so on. Also, walking dogs, which can maybe sound funny, but actually, if we have a look in statistics, in Czech Republic, it's a really high rate of people having dogs, and for the elderly, it's really emotionally even very important. And if they are afraid of going out, of course, this is a problem again with their pets. So one of the social services provided by this initiative is also walking the dogs for those who really need it. After that, there are like bigger, well-established institutions with experience on, let's say, global level. One of them is People in Need, which has run many corona-related projects. It's worth mentioning maybe the program for people endangered by indebtedness and facing the debt trap. This has been exacerbated by falling personal incomes due to restrictions and economic activity and so on. And again, there is a telephone helpline for those people to give them consultations and help. And there are NGOs like Caritas, which also provide many of the social services and who are also able to organize volunteers. From this one, yeah, Caritas is one of the most active. They have quickly mobilized and started to organize volunteers as well as public actions. And again, sewing masks, we'll come back to that later, and provided services to elderly people again. For example, which is also interesting, they launched a special telephone line for assistance for foreign or migrant workers, employees, which are quite many. Officially, there are 600,000 in the Czech Republic, which means, let's say, 5% of the total population. But it's quite sure there are many of them which are not official. So this is an important service as well. Let's go to the production and distribution of protective equipment. Again, the NGOs took their initiative. There is an informal group called COVID-19 CZ. This is really a group of IT experts, professionals, companies, and high-tech universities that's offering innovative solutions to manage the situation. This has been one of the most successful crowdfunding campaigns, gathering around 500,000 euros very quickly for their innovation solutions within a few days, really. And there are some examples of their products. There was a production of equipment for medical staff, like masks, respirators, protective shields, really produced by the members of the IT community, for example, using 3D printers. Then they launched a new emergency hotline dedicated to the coronavirus-related questions. This is powered by artificial intelligence, this telephone line, and it replaced the service that is used by the state-operated hotlines 112 and 150, as all of you probably know, because those already collapsed due to a high volume of calls at that time. Then they launched also mobile applications featuring the most important phone numbers and chat function and so on. They also launched a Stop COVID CZ website, sharing social media awareness campaign and assisting the Ministry of Health to deal with the situation. And the initiative Corovan was also important because it was again about producing homemade ventilators sold for cheaper than on the market. You can see on my slide. And there was also the Iroshka, which finally became a part of the official policy of the Ministry of Health. And then there is kind of self-protective reaction, because at the beginning of the pandemic in March, there was a lack of the protective equipment in all the country. So hundreds and thousands of people started sewing protective masks on their own. And for example, as you can see the picture, there were mask trees where volunteers were hanging their masks in public for use for free. In the second picture, you can see Raushkomat, which is like masks mat vending machine available in public spaces, selling the masks for let's say reasonable price. And there was also this initiative called Dame Roušky, which refers to the most common let's say food delivery service called Dame Jídlo, let's have meal, and this is called Dame Roušky, so let's have a mask. A huge thing. Also, after the state somehow collapsed here. Yeah, and finally, concerning the information campaigns, the Czech Red Cross has launched a public information and awareness campaign called We Will Manage It Together. And the objective of this campaign obviously was to provide basic information and practical advice related to the coronavirus, including protective equipment, hygiene standards, nutrition, sports activities, how to talk to children about the virus, how to spend time under quarantine, and so on. And this information campaign, again, was shared by volunteers on social media as well as other platforms. And alongside this campaign, the Red Cross also provides a number of other services as usually. So this is something similar to what we have heard from our partners. Well, that's it from my part. Unfortunately, I don't have any video for you. I can maybe show you some masks made by my grandma at home. So we are all struggling together, but I think in terms of civil society's response, we are ready for this second wave, whatever happens and how hard it is. That's all from me.
Okay, Martin, thank you very much for your presentation, and thank you for telling us about the situation in the Czech Republic. So yes, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Patrick Galeski. I'm actually a Canadian Varaždin resident, and I'm working with Pučko otvoreno učilište Varaždin on this project as a technical coordinator. And I would like to say, first of all, thank you very much for the great cooperation that we've had so far. I'd like to thank everyone who's come today and who has shared their experiences and their best practices. I really feel that this has been a very interesting experience, very informative, and I think we've all learned a few things. So we're now at the end. So we've all heard from different countries, different regions about what the situation is and how they've adapted. So now we're leaving it as a Q&A period. So if you do have a question online, I would kindly ask that you write it in the chat function for Zoom and share it with everyone here. And as well, I also have, we can also take questions from our audience here in Varaždin, just verbally, so raise a hand. But maybe just to begin with, one general question I have, and this could be for any of the presenters that we have on file here, is we're talking about volunteers. We're talking about what it takes for citizens to get involved. So this is an open question, and maybe I'll also ask Nebojša to answer this. So if someone wants to volunteer at your organizations, what are you looking for in a volunteer? What qualities does that person or candidate have to have? Maybe to begin with, one person I thought could maybe contribute to this is Nebojša. Maybe for you at the Red Cross, what qualities does a volunteer need to have? Yes, you could come up here. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Well, what's important for the volunteer is to be altruistic, to be oriented towards some common values, like helping others, like thinking about the common good, and also to be able to volunteer in the Red Cross, person needs to be really flexible, adaptable, so he or she is able to respond to all the situations that may arise, and there are many different situations that may arise. Also, it's good to be creative. It's good to be self-disciplined, because the very important thing is when you volunteer, it is volunteering, but you have some task to perform, and you cannot leave it to others if you take it upon yourself. Also, it is good to have at least some experience with volunteering in case, especially. But even those people who didn't have any experience are welcome to join. The great thing is to motivate also young people, because they usually have more energy, even more spare time for volunteering. Well, these are some characteristics that we need to have, and we think they are important. But also, as a volunteer, you need to have some kind of initiative. So, for example, here in Red Cross, we are welcoming all ideas or initiatives. If you are able to do it, to get it through to the end, it's great. So, I think it's important. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nebojša. Perhaps our partners from the other countries have something to add to this about what characteristics a volunteer has to have? Or...
Patrick, just a second. Bilja will talk and I will translate, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
To
us, the volunteers usually go to our place themselves. They say that they want to be volunteers because they want to work on themselves. They want to develop on themselves. They're usually secondary school pupils. So these are young people who, besides their schools, come to the youth office. What is maybe interesting, so they come to the office in series, like a chain. So they come on friends' recommendations. So most of them usually come to the youth office in the same scenario.
Tako da se taj lanac širi.
So this chain is being spread.
I mi imamo 70 volontera.
And we have 70 volunteers.
Iz 5 srednjih škola.
From 5 secondary schools. Osobine.
Oni su vredni, odgovorni.
They are hardworking, responsible.
Znatiželjni.
They're very curious.
Kreativni.
Creative.
Često su oni ti koji pokreću ideje i akcije.
They are very eager to start initiatives and activities on their own.
I kroz našu kancelariju se čuje glas mladih.
And through our youth office, you can hear the voice of young people.
Imamo veliku podršku grada.
We have a very big support of the city.
Ono što nije bilo u prezentaciji, što nisu Čeda i Teodora rekli.
One thing which was not said in the presentation by Čeda and Teodora,
baza podataka koju su oni vodili je bila toliko detaljna.
The database that they had was so detailed.
To je prvenstveno bila Čedina ideja.
This was primarily Čeda's idea.
Da volonteri koji su taj dan išli na teren, unosili su se u tu bazu.
So the volunteers who would go to do field work on that day would actually enter their data to the database.
To je bila posebna tabela.
It was a special table.
Ukoliko bi neko od tih volontera osjetio neke tegobe ili simptome korone,
if any of those volunteers would feel the symptoms of corona or something similar to corona,
da se listaju sve adrese koje su oni taj dan posjetili.
To list all the addresses they visited on that day.
Kako bi ustanovilo dakle
in order to find the source of the symptoms and the virus.
Mi smo prvenstveno kao jedna velika porodica.
We are primarily one big family.
Koja se udruži i kroz to druženje radi lepe i zanimljive stvari.
A family who has fun time together and works together.
And they are with different interests. Sorry. Very different interests. No.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Perhaps our other partners would like to contribute to that question about volunteering. Or? Okay, Petja.
Well, I actually don't have anything to add. I completely agree with previous speakers. I'm just sorry that Yuri cannot be with us a little bit longer because he has a long time experience with working with volunteers. And I also agree that probably they are also in his case or in our case, mostly coming from the high school students population and so on. So I completely more or less agree with whatever was said previously, also about the characteristics of the volunteers and so on. Humanism is growing again, and this is something that affects me and gets to me also as a philosopher. I really like that. I'm also a little bit keen on how the situation will now continue, so maybe we all have a chance to improve ourselves a little bit towards this idea.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
Also, I would add something. Not only on the characteristic that the volunteer has to have, but on what we ask them, because one of the main principles of our work with volunteers is that, of course, they have to feel responsible for what they do, but we do not have to ask them to substitute workers. I mean, our services have to work with paid workers that have their professional, they know what they do, they have their competencies built during years for what they do. So what we ask volunteers is not to substitute them, which is, I think, very oppressive for them, but to help them ameliorating their job. And second thing, which is I think interesting, because we have this dual option, let's say, because we have on our territory many associations that work as volunteers, of course, to give services, which is one thing. So the volunteer that knows that he is part of a group and that he contributes with others to one main objective. The other option is single volunteering, which is what we saw that during the pandemic worked the most, because people, probably people that didn't want to enter a group, they just want to give a small part of themselves, of their time, to one main goal that we share. We saw that this kind of single volunteering, which is of course more difficult for association, for an organization, because you have to care every single person. But in the end, for many person, it's a good option. Otherwise, probably they didn't even start volunteering. So just the fact that, of course, they have their responsibilities, but they're not alone on what they do, but they can do it by themselves, not inside a group. So these two things, we saw that in this period worked a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Martina. Martin, perhaps you would like to add something to that one question about volunteering. You told me as well that you're a member of the Boy Scouts. You're assisting with that, and you're also included in some other initiatives. So maybe you can add to that question. When it comes to volunteers in the Czech Republic, are there any criteria or any specific characteristics that are being looked after or looked for?
I don't think so. I think it's all the human or humanitarian characteristics already mentioned before. In our country, maybe similarly to most of the other countries here, there is a tradition of mutual help, and depending on the community, after periods of some oppressing or, let's say, limitations. So this is something which occurs in any time of any crisis. So I think we are more or less in the same conditions as most of our partners are.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Martin. All right. I see. I think it's probably time to wrap things up. But I don't know. I think when I think about this situation, everything else, I think this is probably the most challenging moments of our lives. I don't know. There's a book in English made by Charles Dickens called The Tale of Two Cities, and he starts the book by saying it's the worst of times, it's the best of times. And it's the worst of times because of Corona, but I think it's an opportunity for us to be the best that we can be. And there's other qualities that we should show as by volunteering, such as kindness, compassion, as well as cooperation. And I'm really glad that all of you were willing to share, willing to listen to each other, and I hope we all learned something from each other today. It's important that we stay together. It's important that we learn together, and that we have compassion for each other. And I really hope this was of help to all of you, and that you've learned something new. And as we mentioned at the start, this is only the first day. We have 2 more days ahead. So next week on Thursday, we plan to have a workshop about that's going to be co-led by the Red Cross of Varaždin, and they're going to be talking about how they're training and recruiting volunteers. And then the week afterwards, on the 12th, it's going to be an additional workshop and information about the new Europe for Citizens program. So with that, I think I'll pass the floor now to Lana Velimirović Vukalović from Pučko otvoreno učilište with some closing remarks and some closing words.
Good speech, Patrick.
Exactly. I just wanted to say that thank you very much. I wouldn't add anything to that because I think those were really wonderful closing remarks. I think that we are not supposed to do any more bullet points. We said everything at the very beginning. I think that we need to start working. So basically we have 2 more days ahead. I think that the first day went really good. We had several technical issues, but I think that now we demonstrated that the projects, international ones, can be done like this. In other words, there is nothing that cannot be done. So we always have to think positive and find the way. And we did find a way. I'm very thankful that we have great partners. Thank you very much for everything. I think that all of your countries did their best today and that they will do the best in the upcoming activities. So basically, I wish you all to stay safe and sound and to have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And let's get together next week. So basically, please gather people for your workshops. And then at the end of the workshops, we will get to it. We will get to it online again and we'll meet. But I really and truly hope that we will be able to meet face to face in Varaždin or in one of your beautiful countries. So basically, yes, that's all from me. Is there anything special that any of the partners would like to say?
I just want to say congratulations for all, to all, you know, and you are and were the best hosts. Thank you, Lana and Patrick too.
Thank you very much. Well, we have to do it. There's no choice. But thank you very much. So we encourage each other, and without your cooperation, it wouldn't be possible. Okay, so that's all, folks, for today. We didn't have catering, but we truly hope that now you will treat yourself with something. So basically, yes, have a great day and talk to you very soon. To all the rest that are online, thank you very much for staying until the very end. We appreciate that very, very, very much. So stay safe and sound and talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.